Hello and welcome back to Drama Investigator. Before we get into today's investigation, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be notified when I post the tea. Danielle Cohn'S mother recently said she wished Danielle's father was dead. The whole thing happened while Danielle Cohn was on live stream.
Your dad died. Stop lying. You wouldn't be on here if he did die.
I wish. I wish. I wish.
What'd you say?
They said your dad died or you wouldn't be on here. And
My dad didn't die, guys.
I wish so. No, I'm not. I know it is, but it's just. Oh, I can't stand it.
Like you guys make me not want to go on trips with you guys.
Okay, yeah, sure.
You just said that on fucking social media.
I don't care.
Hi, Lena. Lena says hi, Jen.
Hi.
Now, Danielle Cohn'S mother is very problematic. We've seen her egg on her 13-year-old when she's been in drama in the past. She also encourages her 13-year-old to dress less and post really inappropriate videos online, all for a paycheck. Danielle Cohn'S mother has even been exposed by Danielle Cohn'S father in the past, who publicly said that he was not happy at all with what Danielle is doing on social media. Here's a throwback to a lengthy Facebook post Dustin Cohn recently made about his daughter and exposing her mother. I've decided to set things straight about my daughter Danielle Cohn. For years I have done the diplomatic thing while dealing with my daughter being online in a way I didn't approve of, and trying to have it handled out of social media because I figured the system would work and keep my daughter safe. I will get small things out of the way first. I was never married to her mother Jennifer, and Danielle is my only child with her. The only person I've ever married is my wife now, Heather. Danielle and Jen did live with me from birth till around 10. I allowed her to stay at my house despite not dating for 10 years rent-free, so we could both take care of Chad and Danielle. They were never homeless, and Danielle was allowed to stay with me at any time. Her grandmother Linda lives an hour away from Orlando, so how homeless could they really have been? I would never throw my child out on the streets. Danielle is 13. I've never liked Danielle being on social media, especially when she started at such an early age, but pageants and modelling and then Musical.ly were all pushed on her. It was always a huge problem to me. I asked for it to stop immediately, which it didn't. We found Pinterest boards with her photos, and I told her mum I worried about. We tried to take measures to stop it, but it didn't. The pictures now have gotten worse and worse. I'm finally saying something on social media because people need to be held accountable. When Danielle was first on social media on Musical.ly, I was disgusted that kids would post videos and their parents thought it was okay. I asked for it to stop, but it didn't. And now it has spiraled into me being worried about my daughter's safety. I've gone through multiple outlets and no one cares because I am the father, and it proves that fathers have no rights. I'm not heard at all and pushed to the side. I want these companies to be held accountable because they never did their due diligence in checking my daughter's age, and have used a minor for profit because the money is more important than the truth. The exploitation of children on these sites needs to stop. If that means I have to be that person, I will come out and show the disgusting truth. Despite my feelings, I allowed Danielle to move to California if this made her happy, with the agreement that she would visit once a month, send school records, and be appropriate. If I found something inappropriate, they'd take it down. It started with crop tops to bikinis and now lingerie. Instead of it being taken down, now every time I ask, I'm told Danielle wants to post it, even when she was 11, and I'm told she's losing likes. To me, safety is more important. Instagram, YouTube, Fashion Nova, BuzzFeed, Universal, Target, Bang Energy Drinks, and the state of California are okay with child exploitation, obviously. They have no issues using my daughter for clicks, a minor, someone who just turned 13. I've contacted Instagram and YouTube, and they both ignored me while they made money off exploiting my daughter. My mother contacted Target when her age was listed as 13. They changed it for a day, which you all saw, and then changed it back when someone else called them. I contacted the Child Labour Board in California, who told us her birth date was wrong, and then hurried off the phone. All of these platforms and organisations saw the money or didn't care enough, and it's continued for years now. I've never once given my approval for Danielle to do any ads or promotion or shows, and if you have something saying I did, it was fake. Please don't call me asking if I can authorise her to work. I haven't, and I will not, period. She is a child and should not have been working from such a young age, but many people around her in these companies cared more about the money. If you have something with my signature, you were scammed. Yes, I have a custody agreement where my daughter is supposed to see me every month for a week, but her mother only sends her when she feels like it. Makes it difficult, and I go months without a call or seeing her. She wasn't even allowed to attend my wedding. When she is here, she gets constant calls to do this or that ad, and I worry if she's actually enjoying life. She was pulled out of school for online school without my knowledge at first. I have to argue to try to see school records, which I've never been shown. I had to call the child services in California 6 months ago to ask if my daughter was in school. She was so smart and probably could have gotten a cheerleading scholarship eventually. When I called the police, I also stated I was worried she was dating much older boys. Instead of checking, they sent police for a welfare check. A police officer called to tell me that he felt sorry that things weren't right at the house, but they could do nothing for me. All this did was place a bigger wedge between me and Danielle. I haven't seen her since, yet she was in Orlando a month ago, but no one called to tell me. She has met her nephew on the other side of her family, but not her new sister. Once again, the system has failed me. I have a parental agreement which says I should be contacted about any job Danielle has to ensure it's age appropriate. I have never been contacted once. When I've asked to be in contact with her managers, it never happens. I'm allowed to have anything I deem not appropriate to be taken down, but she never will, and Instagram and YouTube just ignore me. Once again, I spent 20 grand to get half custody that I deserved years ago, for no one to care about making sure it gets followed, unless I spend thousands again to fight it. How is that fair? Because I am the father, the system screws us. Everyone can see this is wrong, the way she's been posed in her pictures. I also feel sorry for these young guys who are being lied to and put in a horrible position of dating an underage and illegal minor. She is 13 and should not be around 17-year-old boys. It is disgusting and unreal. I have asked Jen to not allow her around boys that age, and she says it's Danielle's decision. Even though I have sources telling me she is pushed towards the older boys and people for the likes and followers. I watch videos where Jen sits there while Danielle dances or is dressed provocatively and sees nothing wrong with it, but it's not enough for YouTube or Instagram to take it down, I guess. I have also lost my patience with Danielle talking about my mother, her grandmother, acting as if she hates her. My parents took care of Danielle and Jen and Chad more than her own family did for 10 years, and to treat her the way they have is unforgivable. Even when I would ask my mum not to help Jen, she would help her, costing her thousands of dollars. She had a rent-free roof over her head for 10 years. My mother recently had half her tongue cut out and part of her throat from cancer. She still can barely eat and now battles for her life with lung cancer. She will never call her unless it's to yell at her. Danielle says she hates her because she's tried to show her real age. She contacted Target. She posted Danielle's birth certificate because she was worried about her seeing older boys with her. She was then threatened by Jen's mother Linda and was called so many times by Danielle and Jen, telling her to take it down just like bullies. Yet they act like they are against bullies. They are the biggest bullies on the internet. When I asked Danielle to call my mum to talk to her after she was diagnosed with cancer, she would not. After the birth certificate was published, they never said anything nice to her, just harassed her to remove the post. She doesn't hate her, she fears for her safety. This is the person you support online. How would you feel as a grandmother or as her father to watch this? She may be my daughter, but she has been brainwashed and makes terrible decisions that I cannot change. There is so much more, but I'll stop there. I appreciate and thank all the people who have sent me and Heather messages because you are worried about my daughter. We have been too. Unfortunately, no one cares. And while you all may not have seen outright that we have done things, we have tried to report and shut the inappropriateness down behind the scenes. Please realize I am probably not going to respond to you. I am a private person and never wanted to have to come out and make this kind of statement, but I have been forced to, as I'm tired of being bothered and disgusted for years. Heather keeps being texted and bothered to stop talking when all she's done is defend us. The mental abuse and anguish this has caused me, and what I've had to deal with for years, is just not understandable to many. Please respect us and leave us alone. I am losing the ability to walk due to a neuromuscular condition and learning to live with being disabled. I have a newborn baby, my mum has cancer again, I work full time and have side businesses while I deal with this drama and never get to see my daughter Danielle because I won't go along with the lies and am alienated for it. You can understand why social media is not my top priority. This is getting to be too much and I'm tired of them talking about my family with no one to defend themselves. In the end, I want my daughter to be able to be herself. She is smart and has so much potential, but the system has failed her. Capital greed and people like Instagram and YouTube profit and look the other way. This has become the normal in today's society and I am paying the price for it. She is truly 13. You all have seen the real birth certificate. I don't understand why being her age is so bad and doing age appropriate ads, acting, whatever would have been fine even though I never wanted that life for her. I truly worry about what has happened to Danielle's money for her future, her safety, and why it took this long to be heard as a father. I do want Danielle to be happy, but not at this cost. No 13-year-old should be dancing in lingerie. Instagram should step up and take care of this. Danielle used to love being active, cheerleading, and school, but that's all gone. There's more to life than just going places to take cool pictures or dance in front of. I truly hope in the future she gets to truly experience life and have fun and not be caught up in a world of followers, fame, likes, and money. I hope one day she sees that I've only ever tried to protect her. I hope others around her wake up and realize it shouldn't be about the money, but living life as a kid that she is. That's all for this investigation. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell. My social media will be linked down below, and I'll see you guys in our next investigation.